We are live from Pringle Field on the campus of Riverdale High School for the second and final preseason game of 2016 for the Riverdale Raiders as they take on the Cougars from Canterbury High School. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network for some high school varsity baseball action. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play of this evening's matchup as we are just seconds away from the opening pitch, and there it is. We are ready to go. A little bit later than expected, but it's a strike one at 7:12 p.m. That is your first pitch start time. Pitcher on the mound for the Raiders. The starter is going to be Trent Clark, number 13. We apologize for running a little bit late here, but overall it sure has been a very confusing night. We had a 4 o'clock p.m. contest earlier tonight between Cape Coral and Estero. Went a bit later than expected, and we're finally ready to go, about 12 minutes late. But the good thing is that we are ready to go and underway, as your leadoff batter for Canterbury is going to be first baseman Carter Smith, wearing number 3, digging into the right hand of the batter's box, and he's going to start things off with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The 1-1. That's going to be knocked high out the left center field, going to be tracked down and caught. That's your first out of the ball game as Carter Smith is retired. Catch being made there out in center field by Colin Azevedo. And Gus Cunningham is going to be up next for Canterbury. Let's talk about your lineup today for Canterbury. The batting order after this pitch from the starting pitcher for the Raiders, Trent Clark. That's going to be deflected out of play up against first base side. Carter Smith, the first baseman, shortstop Gus Cunningham, and center fielder Sam Keating are going to be your 3 men starting things off here at the top half of the first for Canterbury. Cleaning up is Tyler Shuck, playing third base today, as a ball is going to hit the strike plate. Now 1-1 to Gus Cunningham. So Tyler Shuck is fourth. Fifth, it's going to be Lorenzo Giovanni, the designated hitter. Right fielder Michael Motter batting in the number 6 spot. Seventh is left fielder Cooper Swanson. Alec Babb batting 8th, playing the catcher. And finally, Jake Crandon, the second baseman, is going to be batting last, and that's going to close out your Canterbury batting order, as another one is going to be rocked out of play down right field. Now a 1-2 count to Gus Cunningham, as we are just underway in this preseason ball game between the Riverdale Raiders and the Canterbury Cougars. Still 0-0. 1 out at the top of the first, and this is going to be tipped high up in a fly ball towards second base, and it's going to be caught now for out number 2. That one was gloved up by Daniel Kaler, the second baseman for the Raiders tonight.
Next batter for the Cougars, center fielder number 23, Sam Keating.
And Sam Keating is going to bat third. Thank you all for those just tuning in on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network, just ready to go for varsity baseball action in the preseason. It's the second and final preseason game for the Riverdale Raiders. You remember in the last contest on Tuesday night, they defeated the Cape Coral Seahawks by a 7-3 final score. First pitch strike is going to be rung in to Sam Keating. Trent Clark on the mound. He is a right-handed hurler wearing number 13. Keating is going to call a timeout, and he's going to step back into the left hand of the batter's box. And we're ready to go once again. 0-1 to Keating right now. This one's going to hit low for a ball. 2 outs now at the top of the first, still scoreless, and just ready to go. Raiders dressed in their garnet red uniforms. White script Raiders across the chest and numbers on the back. Wearing gray pants and red. And that is going to be gone. Wow, a home run by Sam Keating while I was talking about the Raider uniforms. That truly is incredible. Out the left field, Sam Keating hits a solo shot, which will make the score 1-0 Canterbury Cougars here at the top of the first. Got a good connection right off the pitch. Nice timing and just rung it out to left field. Visually, it looked like it was going to stay in, but it had enough power to just stretch over the wall to put Canterbury on top by 1. Anyways, where I was cut off there, I was about to say the Raiders are wearing their garnet red hats and caps with the white script R down the center for Riverdale. Meanwhile, Canterbury, they're wearing dark blue uniforms, black script Canterbury across the chest, black numbers on the back, white pants, and dark blue hats and caps. Some players for Canterbury are wearing the dark blue high socks. And the ball 1 is going to be given to Tyler Shuck to start off his at-bat. Now 2-0 as a pitch plummets into the dirt. So just underway here at the top of the first. But we're off to a very fast-paced start. Canterbury putting up a solo homer on the board. Sam Keating able to give that ball a ride over the left field wall. Now 3-0 as a pitch is up and away. So Trent Clark, the hurler on the mound for the Raiders, having a little bit of a difficult time to start things off. He's struggling to find that strike zone. Winds up, and this is low, and it's a 4-pitch walk to the third baseman Tyler Shuck for Canterbury. Up next is going to be number 21, Lorenzo Giovanni, the designated hitter.
Next batter for Canterbury, designated hitter number 21, Lorenzo Giovanni.
Here's his opening pitch. Comes close to him, and it's outside for a ball 1. Once again, Canterbury finds themselves up early, 1-0 off of a homer from Sam Keating, a solo shot out to left field, hoping to extend the damage, as they have Tyler Shuck now over the first, who has reached with a 4-pitch walk. This one's going to be batted up the middle, past second base and out to center field, and now Canterbury has 2 runners on. We'll tell you about Canterbury in just a few moments and how they've had a successful season last year. Let's see who's coming up to the plate now. It's going to be number 25, Michael Motter, playing in the right field position for the Cougars of Canterbury High School. Well, Canterbury ended the 2015 regular season with a dominating 22-5-1 record, and the Cougars tore their way through the FHSAA state playoffs, where they ran just 1 step short of the Class 3A state championship game, as they were defeated by Miami Westminster. We'll tell you more in a moment. This is out to center field in a fly ball, and it's going to be caught to retire the sides. And that's going to end the top half of the first, 1-0 score in advantage of Canterbury. Coming up with that catch was Colin Azevedo. More baseball to come right after this on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Once again, bottom of the first we go, 1-0 Canterbury.
Bottom of the first inning for your Raiders. Shortstop, number 1, Tyler Yeager.
We return to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, where your score is 1-0 here at the home half of the first. Canterbury Cougars currently leading over the Riverdale Raiders. Tyler Yeager steps into the left hand of the batter's box and takes a ball 1 to start things off. Well, rough start to the top half of the first. You had starting pitcher for the Raiders, Trent Clark, come out to the mound, where he gave up a solo shot to Sam Keating out over the left field wall to put the Cougars on top 1-0. Yeager change going around as he watches one go down low for a ball 2. Now pops up to 2-0. Around, and that gets down right on the pitcher's mound. You had 3 players surrounding it. Yeager gets on first somehow by a miracle. Just a miscommunication by the Canterbury infield as they let that ball drop down for a single on Tyler Yeager.
Right fielder, number 9, Matt
Right fielder Matt Hardy is going to come up next. Time for the Riverdale Raiders batting order. Tyler Yeager, the shortstop. Right fielder Matt Hardy and Matisse Bober, the left fielder tonight. Those are going to be the three men due up at the top of the order. As there's a check over to Tyler Yeager on first. He's going to dive in time over on first. Cleaning up, it's going to be Hunter Tinsley playing third base today. Catcher Tyler Prell is fifth. Number 6 is going to be Coleman Ross to DH. Throw to second, and Tyler Yeager is going to beat out the throw as he steals second base. Good news for Matt Hardy here in the batter's box, as the Raiders now have a man over in scoring territory. That will be the tying run for the Raiders, as once again they're down 1-0. Strike one now on the way to your batter, Matt Hardy. Number 6 is going to be the DH Coleman Ross. 7th, Carson Palmquist playing first base today. Colin Azevedo is at center field playing number 8. And number 9, it's going to be Daniel Kaler. Kaler playing at the second base bag today on the defense, as another ball is going to be down low for Matt Hardy. 2-1 now underway. It's going to be chopped up out to center field in a ground ball. Yeager coming around third. Throw home is not going to be in time, and the Raiders tie this baby up at 1 apiece at the bottom of the first. Tyler Yeager coming home from second base, and it's an RBI double for Matt Hardy. Nice chipper down the center past the second base bag and out the center. Gave Yeager just more than enough time to cross the home plate bag. Matisse Bober hoping to add on to the good luck here, now with Hardy over on second base. So Raiders responding quick. Well, before the break, we were talking about Canterbury and their successful season. Once again, if you're tuning in late, we'll replay that for you. Swung on and missed for the first pitch to Bober. Once again, Canterbury ended the 2015 regular season 22-5-1. They made it all the way to the state semifinals, where they were defeated by the Miami Westminster Christian Warriors by a 4-2 result, as this is going to be batted over the second base and over the first for the 4-3 putout on Matisse Bober, and that's your first out here at the bottom of the first, tied up at 1.
Batting next for your Raiders, third baseman, number 4, Hunter Tinsley.
Up comes Hunter Tinsley to the plate, playing the third base bag today. And last Tuesday night's ball game versus Cape Coral, he played as a pitcher. This is going to be another one over the second base for the out on Hunter Tinsley. But the good news is that Matt Hardy is going to cross home plate, and that will give the Raiders their first lead of the ball game. It is now 2-1. So a good news, bad news situation there for Hunter Tinsley. Although he couldn't get on board, he's able to put the Raiders out in front.
Now batting, catcher.
And up comes Tyler Prell.
Tyler Prell.
Tyler Prell once again in the catcher's position. As he steps in, base is now cleared for him with one out. And the Raiders are looking very good early on here. Prell is going to knock this ball out of play for a foul ball rather. So Canterbury, they definitely had one heck of a season once again, going so far in the FHSAA state playoffs. You can bet that they are hoping to rebuild after that. And it all begins here in the preseason. But the Raiders, in this first inning of play, I understand we're just underway still, but they're looking pretty good with the bats. Pitcher on the mound for Canterbury here, starting things out in the ball game. It's Brian Eberly. Oh, 2 is going to hit the dirt here. Now 1-2 on Tyler Prell. 2-1 Raiders is your score at the bottom of the first. Raider players in the dugouts right now in full force trying to cheer on Tyler Prell. With 2 outs, the 1-2 on the way. That hits the inside corner, and we are done with your first inning of play as Tyler Prell is going to strike out looking as we head to your top half of the second. The Raiders lead 2-1 over the Canterbury Cougars.
The fielder number 24, Cooper Swanson.
We are back here at the top half of the second, where the Raiders lead 2-1 over the Canterbury Cougars. Cooper Swanson's going to step up to the plate to start things off in a brand new inning. Knocks the first pitch out to left field, goes far out to the warning track before it's gloved up for your first out. 1 pitch is all it takes before it's gloved up by the left fielder, Matisse Bober.
Batting next for Canterbury, catcher number 4, Alec Babb.
Alec Babb is going to be up next for Canterbury. Nice start for both teams when it comes to the bats. You had a solo homer back in the first from Sam Keating, and 2 runs scored by the Raiders at the home half of the first. And that gives them the lead. Let's hope they can keep things on a high note heading into inning number 2. Strike 1 coming up on the way for your next batter, Alec Babb, playing as the catcher for Canterbury today. This next one is going to bounce low into dirt. The catcher, Prell, having to slide over to his right side to prevent that ball from going to the backstop. Right now, the future of this game really is uncertain. We have our eyes on the weather radar throughout the course of this ball game as we are expecting some precipitation to come by with a rainstorm approaching southwest Florida. Chop and a miss to make the count 1-2 to Babb. 1-2's barely going to miss off to the right side to tie up your count. With 1 out here at the top of the second. Looks like the update may have been... Let me reword that here. This came close, and it turns out it hits Alec Babb right on the right elbow, and he's going to take the walk over the first. So with 1 out, Canterbury now has a man on, and a courtesy runner is going to be coming in for the Cougars.
Courtesy runner for Babb, now running at first base. Number 2, Donovan Duvall. Now batting for the Cougars. Second baseman, number 1, Jake Crandon.
Donathan Javal is going to be over on first base as a courtesy runner for Canterbury. And your batter is going to be Jake Crandon now coming up to the plate. Well, I was trying to say just moments ago as the first pitch is fouled out down right field. I have the weather report that I got from earlier today, but it looks like it may have been a bit outdated, but still, it does show that there is a chance of precipitation. What I had was 72 degrees, 50% chance of precipitation, wind blowing southeast at 3 miles per hour, 81% humidity in Fort Myers. This is going to be low. Check over the first, but the throw from Prell at home plate over the first. And that base runner is going to be safe. Donathan Javal once again over on first, a courtesy runner. But right now, looking at the radar, there is a very nice chance of precipitation. Once again, nice storm coming on the way to southwest Florida. This is going to be banked to the backstop for a foul ball. Now 1-2. Once again, up to the plate, it's Jake Crandon, the righty swinger. Thank you to those just now joining us. Top of the second. Raiders lead by a 2-1 score. Live from Pringle Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. The problem here is that we have the night sky, so you really cannot tell if there's any incoming storm clouds. It's unpredictable at this point, as there's another throw over the first by Raiders pitcher Trent Clark. And Javal is going to be back in time to the first base bag. The windup on the way to Crandon. Swung on and missed. It was late. Going over the first once again was Tyler Prell, and Javal dives in time.
Next batter for the Cougars, top of the order, first baseman number 3, Carter Smith.
So up comes Carter Smith in his second at-bat of the ball game here at the top of the second. Hoping to do something with a base runner over on first. We also have a lightning detector here at Riverdale High School. We'll tell you about that as a strike is going to come across the plate. Now 0-1 to Carter Smith. Well, it's a very nice piece of technology that we have here at Riverdale High School. Have a lightning strike comes within 10 miles, I believe it is, then it will go off, and the players are going to have to take cover, as well as the fans and anyone outdoors. Very nice way to keep everyone safe during a storm, as this is going to be hacked to the backstop once again. Now 0-2 to Carter Smith with 2 outs here at the top of the second. Raiders up by 1. Nice turnout here at Pringle Field. Quite a few seats to go around, as this is bolted out to left field in the fly ball foul. Trying to pursue that ball out in left was Matisse Bober, but he could not track it down in time. Plenty of seats to go around. If you would ever like to come out to one of our Raider baseball games here at Riverdale High School, tickets are $4 a piece. Javal, the runner over on first, he's going to head back. He took off after that foul fly ball down left. So he'll go back over the first, taking a nice lead off, as Carter Smith is having a nice at-bat here. 0-2. Hacked over the second base. Over the first from Daniel Kaler. And that's going to do it. Home half of the second we go. Raiders up 2-1 over Canterbury. Coleman Ross is going to lead off the bats for the Raiders here as we enter your home half of the second. Raiders lead 2-1 over the Canterbury Cougars. Riverdale hoping to extend that damage here. Ross leans in, very tall. Right-handed swinger watches the first pitch go by for a ball 1. Let's talk about your coaches for today's ball game for Canterbury. It's Coach Frank Turco, as a close one is going to be low for the ball, 2. So Frank Turco is your head coach for Canterbury in his second season with the Cougars. He previously spent 16 years with Estero as their head coach with the baseball program. Out the right field, fly ball is going to be out of the stadium. Now 2-1. That one coming down to right field line. Both teams with a lot of foul balls so far. Good connection, but they can't land anything fair thus far. We had plenty of that same problem back in last Tuesday night's game, Riverdale versus Cape Coral, where the Raiders prevailed, coming back from a 3-0 deficit to win the game 7-3. What a great comeback that certainly was, folks, as a foul ball is going to be drilled backwards. Now 2-2 to Rost. Coleman Rost is a junior on this team, as he will hack and drives this ball down left field, and that's going to be outside of the playing field as well. So you have Frank Turco coaching Canterbury, and for the Raiders, it's Bob Pringle. As always, Coach Pringle does a great job coaching this baseball team. He's been with this team for many years, decades for a matter of fact, and the count is full as this ball is going to be away. No outs at the top of the second, or bottom, excuse me. 2-1, Raiders on top, and now a timeout's going to be called here by the pitcher.
Coach Pringle's the longest tenured coach in the county. 22 years.
22 years for Coach Pringle. And that is going to be outside, and Ross is going to draw a walk off of the payoff pitch.
Batting next for your Raiders, first baseman number 14, Carson Palmquist.
Carson Palmquist is now going to dig in. He was the starting pitcher for the Raiders back in that Tuesday night game. Watches one go high and dry for the ball. The next one on the way, and that's going to barely sneak its way inside for a strike. Now 1-1 to Palmquist. Coleman Rust over on first. You know, he really guns it out there on the base pads when he's running. Has a lot of power. We like to call him a train here in the press box, but it's all in good fun. Having fun. He really does know how to put the speed out there. He really does. We had the dugout even cheering him on for Riverdale High School when he was going around third in our previous game, and certainly is interesting. Coleman Rost is a great guy on this team. 2-2 is going to be fished out to left field, and it bounces down. It was originally played off the hop there by Cooper Swanson out in left. And now you have men on second and first for the Raiders. No outs at the home half of the second.
Batting next for your Raiders, center fielder, number 3, Colin Azevedo.
Colin Azevedo is going to be up next. Nice situation for him. He's going to signal the bunt. But the pitcher, Eberly, is going to spin around, check on Rost over on second.
Ross scores. Crazy Train's coming next, baby.
Yep. Our public address announcer likes to call him the train, so if he scores a run, he decided that he wants to play some Crazy Train in between the innings. You may even be able to hear him right now, making the train sounds as a ball is going to pass by for Azevedo. He's going to signal the bunt again. That check over the second on Rost originally was a bluff, and this is going to come close, and they counted a strike there, as he was putting down the bunt signal all the way through. 2 on, no out. Raiders up by 1. He squares down the bunt, stretches out the bat, gets it off the tip, but that's not going to land fair. Now 1-2. So the main goal for the Raiders and Azevedo is mainly to get those 2 runners into scoring territory. Rost and Palmquist are on. Rost on second, Palmquist on first, as the next one is going to be too far up for a ball 2. Now 2-2 to Azevedo. Fans having a great time in tonight's game. Right now you have the stands full on both ends, on the Canterbury side as well as the Riverdale fan section. It's going to be bunted right down the middle. Eberly is going to scoop it up and chuck it over to third, and Rost is eliminated on the base pads for out number 1. Now they're back to where they started, runners on second and first.
Number 15, Daniel Kaler.
So Kaler is now going to make his way up to the plate. Meanwhile, now you have Palmquist on second and Azevedo on first. So Rost is eliminated as he was trying to head over the third. This is knocked out to right center. It's going to be caught. Is it caught? That is unbelievable. It was a catch. They throw to second, and that's a double play. Unbelievable, folks. Diving catch out in center field. Canterbury throws to second. Double play ends the inning. 2 complete innings have passed. Raiders still lead 2-1. We'll be back with more Raider baseball right after this on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network.
Third inning for the Canterbury Cougars, shortstop number 7, Gus Cunningham.
Gus Cunningham will start the bats here for Canterbury High School as we head into inning number 3. Raiders lead 2-1. Swing and a miss to begin things. Looks like you have some fans in the cheap seats now. A very small few of them, but they've made their way out to this baseball game out in center field. Standing on top of those football bleachers. They chose the seats out in left center field. Nice view there. Another one is going to be squared inside. Now 0-2 to Gus Cunningham. The delivery, not going to make it inside for a ball 1. So tonight's competition between Riverdale and Canterbury will be the final preseason contest for both schools. And then they're off to the regular season. This is knocked over to third, going across the diamond to first base, and they beat him by about a step. Very nice play there by the Riverdale infield. Carson Palmquist standing on first and covering the bag for the out. Throw coming from Hunter Tinsley over on third.
Batting next for the Cougars, center fielder number 23, Sam Keating.
Tinsley had to stretch out a little bit there towards the shortstop area, but scooped it up with the left hand, delivered it over to Palmquist at first base on the right hand. And now here is Sam Keating making his way up to the plate. Watches the first pitch go by, and this is strike 1. Riverdale will open their regular season on February 8th when they take on the Oasis Sharks. That game will have a 7 p.m. start time and will be held at Terry Park on Connie Mack Field. Grounder to third, throw to first, and that's going to skip over the glove of the first baseman. Now in front of the Raider dugout, but that runner Sam Keating is going to stay over on first and not play the risk. So now 1 on and 2 out for Canterbury.
Next batter, third baseman number 22, Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shuck is going to be up next. From the looks of it, that ball just went right off the glove of the first baseman. So from the looks of it, that's going to be an E3 in your scorebooks. Now Shuck with a man on first, trying to do whatever he can to keep the inning alive. Rides the ball out to right field. It's going to be tracked down, caught for the out. And that's actually going to be out number 2 there, I believe. Okay, I may have said out number 2 a few moments ago. I apologize for that. Still having to adjust my eyes here on the new scoreboard. It can be a little difficult. I believe the numbers out there are a little bit smaller than the scoreboard we're used to. Once again, our usual scoreboard got struck by lightning. So we have a new one out in left field. A little difficult to see, so once again, I apologize for any of those mishaps, but everything's good now. Now we have 2 outs. At the top of the third, Raiders lead 2-1. And now at the plate, it's Lorenzo Giovanni. Starts off 0-1. Second one is going to be thrown over the second, and the runner is going to be caught stealing. My goodness.
And after 2.5 innings of play,
that's going to do it for the top half of the third. Home half coming right after this. Raiders still lead 2-1.
Your Raiders shortstop, number 1, Tyler Yeager.
Yeager hoping to extend the Raiders' lead here at the bottom of the third as Riverdale leads 2-1 over the Cougars of Canterbury High School. Thank you for all those tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. Nick Rush giving you the call of tonight's game. Raiders looking good so far here. Action slowed down after that first inning of play, where all 3 runs of the ballgame were scored. That one had a little bit of a rough deflection on Tyler Yeager. He signaled for a bunt, but must have deflected off that thin end of the bat towards the handle, and it's going to tip its way out foul. Now 0-1. Yeager's going to try again on the next pitch, which will be a ball 1, as it is going to bounce its way to the backstop. 1-1 now to Yeager. So far, no precipitation at Pringle Field, but we are expecting some towards, well, not too long away. Sometime between the 8 or 9 o'clock hour is when rain is expected to come, so we'll see where this game ends up. All we can do at this point is just sit and wait. Strike 2 goes by Yeager. 1-2 is going to miss. 2-2. Very silent crowd here on hand at Pringle Field. Overall, great game between Riverdale and Canterbury thus far. Even matchup, and that's going to beat him right on the left shoulder. Yeager takes a walk to first as Brian Eberly is going to hit him with the pitch. Eberly on the mound for his 3rd inning of pitching.
Next batter
for Canterbury.
Raiders right fielder number 9, Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy on the way to the plate. Tyler Yeager, he was on the base once tonight, and he made it through the score all the way to home. So let's see if he can contribute once more to the scoreboard in Riverdale's favor. Matt Hardy hit that RBI double to ring in Yeager back at the bottom of the first. So Hardy coming up. Check over the first by Brian Eberly, and Yeager's back in time as he skips back over the first. And once again, we have yet another reference here to that infamous fantasy rule, I guess you could call it, we made here in the press box. Our PA announcer made it. He says every time they check over the first base, or any bag for that matter, it should be 1 ball. He checks over to Yeager once again, so that should be 2 balls. If that rule happens, that'd be ball 3. Yeager is back all 3 times, this time with the dive. You can see why pitchers are so concerned with Tyler Yeager out there, because very quick. Yeah, he is lightning quick. Lightning McQueen. A little bit of Pixar Disney references, and that's Roadrunner here. We're having a great time with the sound effects now here in the booth. What a night. This is popped backwards, and out of the ballpark it goes over the press box. 0-1 for Matt Hardy. No outs and a man on first here for the Raiders at the bottom of the third, up 2-1. There's a chant going on by the Raiders there, and they certainly are lively tonight there in the dugouts. They are every game, but tonight they're really letting the opponents and the teammates alike hear them. This is going to hit down low, throw to second, and Yeager is going to steal successfully. So Yeager, for the second time in the ball game, he's going to be on scoring territory. Last time he was on second, he scored.
Count, Blue.
Trying to get an official pitch count from the official.
Count, please.
Hasn't given it just yet. And he hasn't gotten it. So as of what we know right now, I believe it's 1-for-1. That previous pitch landed in the dirt. That'd make it 2-1 as this is offsides.
You're right. Good job.
Okay, so I successfully got the score count right here. Not the score count, pitch count. There we go. We're back up to speed, and this is Bobbler over this third base. Throw across to out number 1. Throw to second. Yeager, it's going to go crazy. Such a high-speed play. It was a bouncer over the third base from Matt Hardy. Thrown across to first for out number 1. First baseman then checked over to third where Tyler Yeager was stealing. He dove in safe. Pitch went wild, but Yeager got the signal from the third base coach that he is safe and that he should stay back. I would like to think that, well, judging by the speed of Yeager, he would have made it in because that ball was all the way back towards the Canterbury dugout, but third base coach wanted to play it safe. Bober now up at the plate. Opening pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. 1 out, so the good news for Bober is that he can score in Tyler Yeager over on third without actually reaching on first. Strike 2 now, off to the sides. Just got its way inside somehow. The next one is over to second. It's bobbled, and both men are going to be safe. Wow. Run scores from third. Tyler Yeager with his second run of the night. And an error is going to put the Raiders up 3-1. And Bober is safe on first as well.
Your next Raider batter, third baseman, number 4, Hunter Tinsley.
That was an error on the second baseman there. He tried to scoop up the ball, which was chipping its way around second base, but it was bobbled, giving Bober more than enough time to make his way on first, and when he made his way across, there wasn't even a first baseman on the bag. So Hunter Tinsley comes on, hoping to keep things going for the Raiders in their high spirits. Ball 1 will start him off. The 1-0, that nearly got him, and it did. All right, so it hit him right off to the left side of the waist there, it looked like. Him in the midsection, and he's going to be going over the first. Now second and first, or the base is occupied right now.
Batting next, your Raider catcher, number 7, Tyler Prell.
Tyler Prell is now up.
Your Raider catcher.
All right, everyone is hyped up now.
Even
Runner
the PA guy.
on second. Yep, even the PA guy, Bober,
And he hasn't had any coffee.
on base number 2.
No coffee. Hasn't had any coffee. He's okay.
And Tinsley on first. Hack gonna miss from Prell. 0-1. You have some warm-up pitching going down the right field line for the Raiders in their bullpen. Bottom of the third, it's 3-1 Raiders. Another one is going to hit low for a ball.
Here we go.
1-1. 1 out for the Raiders here is, well, Prell has to be careful as it's now 2-1. Because if things go Canterbury's way, if this is a bouncer on the infield, the Cougars can easily convert it to a double play, but let's take a look. 2-1, late swing, 2-2. Big turning point of the ball game. Raiders have scored across 3 unanswered runs. This could be huge, as said by Billy Facillo, local car dealer here in Southwest Florida. Bouncer to short, throw to first. He is safe. Runner coming on to score. And it's 4-1 Raiders. None other than Matisse Bober coming home to score. The throw to first went wild, giving Bober enough time to score, and now a runner on third to go along with it. And look who's coming up. It's Coleman Rost. Meeting on the mound here with the infield, and that's going to be quickly broken up here.
Batting next for your Raiders, designated hitter, number 16, Coleman Ross.
Coleman Ross steps in nice and tall, hoping to do some big things here with runners on the corner, throw to first, and that runner is going to be safe in time. That's Tyler Prell on first. My goodness, a lot of cheering going on by the Raiders. I think I've heard some movie references coming from over there as well. Raiders sitting down the first base side in the dugouts. Down the third base side is where Canterbury's sitting. Ross begins with a ball. 1-0. Early swing, 1-1, as he misses. Time is now 8:05 here in Southwest Florida. Just about an hour into your ball game, almost. Official start time was 7:12, but nice start here. This is tipped foul, 1-2. With one out, home half of the third, Raiders up 4-1. With men on first and third for the Raiders, Rost hoping to at least put Riverdale up by 4. Coleman hoping to get a hold of the ball as he now calls timeout, stepping out of the left side of the box. Now stepping in. Takes the next pitch. No, he's going to have to wait a little longer. They'll go over the first base, and that's going to be safe. Another check over to Tyler Pro. And now the catcher is going to come up to the pitcher's mound, and there's a little bit of a nice chat here between Brian Eberly and Alec Babb. A little bit of a gathering, and it's going to be broken up quickly. As they
I don't have a slider.
Oh, there's a fake throw over the third. Brian Eberly, he is checking all over the place.
Yeah, boy. He's checking something. Check his baggage.
Hoping to do whatever he can to produce out number 2 here. Oh, look at this runner hang over the third. He is safe. That is safe. And now runners on third and second. Things are even better for the Raiders.
Better than before. Alright, Coleman's 2-2.
All right. Let's get back into it. Coleman with the 2-2. Oh, he swings and misses. That has got to sting when momentum is riding high. Out number 2 for the Raiders. And now they need something to keep the inning alive.
Next batter for your
Coming up, it's Carson Palmquist.
Number 14, Carson Palmquist.
Looks like on second base you have number 5 for the Raiders, which I believe is Joel Velez, if I'm correct. So he must have came in for the courtesy runner. Yeah, I didn't see him make the changeover either, but it looks like Velez is over on second base. Big swing and a miss here now, 0-2. Quick start for Palmquist. Meanwhile, you have Canterbury just hoping to get out of this third inning here, with the lead still somewhat close, as the Raiders are up 4-1. whipped away for another foul, 0-2. And the next one, the Palmquist. High and dry for the ball one. What a game it's been, folks. It really has been something here at Riverdale High School. Raiders started off with a tough defensive outing at the top of the first, giving up a home run. They come back to score 4, and now it all comes to an end as a swing and a miss by Carson Palmquist will cause the strikeout. 4-1 is your score. Inning number 4 we come right after this break.
4-1.
Giovanni Lorenzo will lead off for Canterbury as we now enter the top of the 4th. Raiders up 4-1 over Canterbury High School. Great night here for the Raiders as we are racing the rain. Once again, some precipitation is currently being tracked here in the Southwest Florida area. Lorenzo will chop it out of the ball field, down left field. Great night for the Raiders. Right when they got to the bats at the home half of the first, things have really clicked with them. They're looking like a very fine ball club right now, as this will barely miss. New pitcher on the mound for the Raiders. It's number 23, Jeremiah Dunnick, who is filling in for the starter, Trent Clark. So Lorenzo will begin 1-1 in the box. Wind up from Dunnick. Lorenzo barely got that ball off the tip of his bat as it's redirected out in front of the Canterbury dugouts. As we look at the radar right now, that rain is just coming closer and closer. It's a little tough to see right now once again since it's nighttime. Sun is already set long ago, so you can't really see any clouds. You don't have much of a warning. But of course, that's why we have all this great technology nowadays. Tells you the weather for you as it's 1-2. Down the middle, it's smacked. Ground ball out to center field. And Giovanni Lorenzo is going to trot his way over the first.
Next bat for the Cougars, right fielder number 25, Michael Motter.
Michael Motter is going to bat next here. Canterbury hoping they have something good up their sleeves here at the top of the 4th as they are down by 3 points. Meanwhile, Prell is going to come up to the mound. Communicate there with the new pitcher, Jeremiah Dunnick. It's his first pitching appearance here in the preseason. As once again, this is your second and final preseason game of 2016. Whipped home, and it's a ball. Dunnick with a very nice windup. Right-handed hurler out there on the mound. Sets up and delivers home off the 1-0 count. Now upgrades to 2-0. Going in the favor of Michael Motter right now. It's the 5, 6, and 7 spots due up here at the top of the 4th inning. It's wide. Now 1 pitch away from a 4-pitch walk. Michael Motter looking confident there in the box. With Giovanni over on first. Let's see what happens here from Dunnick. 3-0 is released. Low, and now runners on second and first. As Motter takes the 4-pitch walk.
Next batter for Canterbury, left fielder number 24, Cooper Swanson.
Cooper Swanson will bat next here. Canterbury looking a lot more encouraged out there as they now have the runner in scoring territory. Once again, down 4-1 to the Raiders. So they're just looking for anything they can to get guys out there on the base pads and get a little bit of a rally going here as we come around your halfway stages of this ball game. Fired home by Dunnick, lifted out to shallow left field. Runners are held up, and now the bags are juiced at first, second, and third. And now the dirty work is going to have to be made here by Alec Babb. And now there's going to be a meeting here on the mound, and you're going to have Coach Pringle involved in it as well. It's the first time of the ball game where Canterbury has had the bases loaded. If all three of those men come home, it'll be tied up at 4 apiece. So right now, Pringle just wants to make sure his team is calm out there and organized and that they can get out of this with their lead intact. No outs, so Canterbury has a whole lot of opportunities from here. Pringle is going to stroll his way back to the Raider dugout. Infield players coming back to their positions here, and hopefully Dunnick has better composure here. So Alec Babb is coming up, the catcher. He's going to have to do some clutch work here. Even more fans are coming up to the cheap seats. I count about 7 of them up there. Nice to see support from all the Raider fans, whether you're a student, staff, or alumni. It's always great to see these fans out here. Ball goes wild to the backstop. Throw to first to Dunnick. He is out. Yeah. Lorenzo Giovanni is called out, trying to steal, going home off of the wild pitch. Prell with great accuracy scoops it up on the backstop, goes to the pitcher, Jeremiah Dunnick, who is standing on home plate. He's able to make the tag on Lorenzo Giovanni for out number 1. For Canterbury, anyhow, men are now extended on third and second. But it's nice that they finally got that first out that they were just so desperately looking for. Whip home down the middle to tie up the count at 1-1 to Alec Babb. Beginning of the 4th, Raiders lead 4-1 over Canterbury. Nice to see them take control in this game thus far against a very successful team last year that made it very deep in the FHSAA state playoffs. Once again, they made it to the state semifinals. Strike 2 now arrives home plate. Now 1-2. If Dunnick can strike out Babb right here, that'll be a big changer, and you really feel the momentum shift back into Riverdale's favor if they can do it. Let's see if he can make it successful. He's going to step off the mound. So Dunnick takes a few moments to himself. 2 men on and 1 out. Very nice back and forth competition here on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. Nick Rush giving you the call of tonight's game. It's going to head to the backstop, throw to first, and there is the out number 2. That one was a swing and a miss. Pitch nearly went wild, but Prell with enough time throws over the first for the out on Alec Babb. Carson Palmquist doing a great job of guarding the first base bag throughout the night. And now out 2. So Prell coming back up to the mound once again. Those two have been giving some...
$5 fine for whining.
And what's this? A little bit of controversy out there. You had the umpires coming together with a little bit of a chat. And now we're back. It looks like
Next batter for Canterbury, second baseman, number 1, Jake Crandon.
It looked like the officials just wanted to sort something out. But we are back and ready to go as Jake Crandon is going to hit the box. Dunnick showing a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of the 4th inning, but he's adjusting well now to the pressure. Pitch is going to be saved. Bouncing ball there. Tyler Prell sliding off to the right side. Save that one from Hank to the backstop, and it's ball 1. A little bit of suspense right now. Swinging the bat is Crandon a few times, and he's ready to go. Attack and a miss. For another strike. That will tie the count up at 1 apiece. Lots of intensity now around Pringle Park. Fans hoping Dunnick can get the job done. And it's spiked away. Foul down first. Now 1-2 is your count. Dunnick 1 strike away from getting out of this madness. Thank you for tuning along with us on what has been a very lengthy top half of the 4th inning. Nick Rush giving you the call. Thank you all for tuning in for preseason baseball action. Once again on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network as always, you can catch every Riverdale baseball home game right here on the web. This ball is given a ride out the center field, and it is caught. Raiders get themselves out of that jam as they strand men on second and third base. Catch made out in center field by Colin Azevedo to relieve the madness. We'll be right back right after this.
It is your center fielder, number 3, Colin Azevedo.
Colin Azevedo is going to be up next here for your Riverdale Raiders as we enter the bottom of the 4th. Raiders up 4-1. Bunt right down third base. Picked up by the pitcher, pardon me. Throw to first, and there's your out. 1-3 put out in the scorebooks for Colin Azevedo. New pitcher on the mound here for Canterbury. We'll tell you about him in just a moment after this next batter is announced.
Next batter for your Raiders, second baseman, number 15, Daniel Kaler.
So Kaler now tries his luck at the plate as he faces off against the new pitcher, number 24, Cooper Swanson, as he is going to plow it out the right field in the bouncer, and it's a base hit for Daniel Kaler. Now on, we head to the top of the order with Tyler Yeager.
Batting next, top of the order, Tyler Yeager.
Yeager gets a nice, warm welcome from the crowd and the announcer. 1 out, 1 on first. Let's see if Yeager can do anything with the quick Kaler over on first. Opening pitch sneaks its way inside for a strike 1. Interesting schedule for the Raiders. We'll tell you about some exciting opponents they'll face in moments, as this is up and over the head of Yeager to tie the count at 1 apiece. Like they do every season, Riverdale will be playing some notable opponents this season, but a big one is when a non-Florida team will come to Fort Myers to take on RHS. The Trinity Raiders will be traveling all the way from Whitesville, Kentucky to take on Riverdale. Very interesting there. Next one on the way to Yeager. Tries to swing, but can't find the ball. 1-2. The distance from Trinity to Riverdale is a whopping 14 hours and 24 minutes. This will be interesting to witness because, like I just mentioned, Trinity High School's mascot is also the Raiders, so it will be the Trinity Raiders versus the Riverdale Raiders. Over the first on Kaler. Oh, and he barely got safe. Stuck out the left hand and got on the base pad as he barely beat out the throw. Nearly earning the out there was the first baseman there, Carter Smith. This pitch is going to dodge to strike plate. 2-2 now to Yeager. Raiders up by 3 here at the bottom of the fourth. Very slow-moving fourth inning of play. Canterbury almost had something going, trying to get into the ball game. They loaded up the bases at the top of the inning, but eventually couldn't get anything going as the Raiders kept them shut down. And that's a strikeout there for Tyler Yeager as he strikes out looking.
Batting next for your Raiders, right fielder number 9, Matt Hardy.
And here is the always energetic Matt Hardy stepping in. And now there's some more pitcher-catcher talk on the mound. Catcher Alec Babb communicating with Cooper Swanson. Originally, Swanson came into the ball game playing left field. Now switching over as a pitcher, replacing Brian Eberle, who was the starter in the game, for Canterbury. Oh, man. Right now, that Raider dugout, they are going absolutely nuts. Check over the first, and he's safe once again. Daniel Kaler on first base. Another quick guy. Yeah, right now it looks like Kaler. He's readjusting his pants. He may have had some sand get in his pants there, I guess. He had to step out to help something out, and finally we're back and ready to go. Must have had some sand get in his clothes when he was diving back over to the first base bag when he was getting checked on. The whip home is going to be wide. 1-0 to Hardy. Kaler steps up. Not taking too large of a lead off right now. The wind-up home is going to be batted out to right center. It's going to be checked down for the catch. And that's going to do it for your fourth inning. But the fifth is just on the way after a break on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network.
Inning for the Canterbury Cougars. Top of the order, first baseman number 3, Carter Smith.
Carter Smith is going to be the first batter for Canterbury here as we begin inning number 5. It's 4-1 Raiders in the lead over the Canterbury Cougars. And right now, it's not looking very good for us weather-wise here at Riverdale High School. We have storms just crossing the weather.
Coach Fedak.
Got a little distracted there.
Rebels, come here.
I apologize for that. Well, anyways,
Coach Fedak.
this is going to be knocked out left side, out into the field, and that's going to be a hit
What's the score on the girls' game?
for number 3, Carter Smith. Anyways, so what I was trying to say is there was some stormy weather
What's the score on the girls' game?
coming across the river near Riverdale High School.
Wow.
So now up at the plate, it's going to be Gus Cunningham.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
So great start for Canterbury here at the top of inning number 5, now with a runner on first. Pitch going home, and it's low for a ball. Jeremiah Dunnick is going to get back up on the mound for his second inning of pitching. Oh, Canterbury, they found some success off of Dunnick earlier in the ball game last inning. They were able to load up the bases, but they couldn't score anyone home. Raiders maintain their 3-point lead here heading into your later stages of the ball game. And really, who knows what the future of this ball game is. Once again, we have some stormy weather on the way approaching Southwest Florida. Foul ball makes the count 1-1 for Gus Cunningham, with Carter Smith over on first. Tapped over out through the right side and into the outfield. And now it's back-to-back hits. Canterbury has men on second and first. And that's Gus Cunningham cashing in with a hit of his own. Smith knocking one out to left field. Now Cunningham out to right. And once again, Canterbury has something booming here with no outs at the top of the fifth. Raiders up by 3. That can change any time.
Number 23, Sam Keating.
Sam Keating's going to trot his way up to the plate. Looks like some of the fans have cleared out here at Pringle Field.
Yes. I know. I don't know a score.
Dunnick is going to look over on second as he bluffs the throw over to Carter Smith on second. Smith on second and Cunningham over on first. And it may possibly be sprinkling here at the ballpark. We are seeing something up against the stadium lights. And this is a strike. That was very interesting. Very low towards the ground, and umpire signaled a strike there. Must have been a check swing from Sam Keating. Keating had a great start to the game. Hit a solo homer back in the first inning to put Canterbury up 1-0. That's the only run on the board right now for the Cougars, as the Raiders have scored 4 straight. This hit the thin end of the bat as it's sent backwards and into the safety netting. 0-2 for Keating. So right now, with that weather just arriving here in just moments, it's not really a matter of if, but when. If our forecast is correct. Still no outs as the windup comes home. Prell is going to block the pitch. Bluffs a throw over to third, and there's Carter Smith sliding into third, both runners advancing. Now Smith on third and Cunningham on second. If Keating can give this ball a ride to the outfield, Canterbury will definitely be back in business. Now keep in mind, this is a preseason game for the Raiders, so if weather definitely does strike, I doubt they will be waiting too long to get this game going. Games don't count in the standings, of course, but it really is a great way to get these players ready for the regular season after a long off-season. As the pitch is spiked into the dirt from Dunnick, 2-2 to Keating. Raiders and the Canterbury Cougars. It's been a fun night here of varsity baseball, as this ball is going to bounce all the way to the backstop, throw home, and it's going to go crazy as well. 1 runner scores, and 2 runners are going to score. They can't get either of them going, and Canterbury scores, and they are now down 4-3. My goodness. Carter Smith and Gus Cunningham are going to score home off of a series of miscues by the Raiders. It bounced awkwardly to the backstop. Pearl tried to throw to Dunnick, and that ball went crazy. Gave Cunningham just enough time to make his way home all the way from second. And then that throw to Dunnick at home was also incomplete. So, yep, Smith and Cunningham now get a pair of runs on the board for Canterbury, and now the Raiders are up by only one. This is a team that went very far last season, so of course, you shouldn't have expected them to give up so easily. That was a crazy bounce over the head of the third baseman and out to left field. Tinsley was trying to ground that ball. It took an odd hop right over the head of Tinsley. I mean, that was a bad hop.
Now batting for Canterbury, number 22, Tyler Shuck.
How crazy was that, folks? Right over the head of Tinsley, and now in the left field. Now Keating's on first. Tyler Shuck now comes up. The scary thing for Raiders fans is that Sam Keating can be the tying run for the Cougars. And still no outs at the top of the fifth. Raiders up by only one. Umpire signals for a strike one. One on and none out here. Dunnick up on the mound. Settles in. Whips the ball home. Runner going over the second. Pro can't even release the throw, as that was another ball coming through to the catcher, Prell. So Keating successfully steals over the second. A few moments ago, just before our in-between innings break, we talked about how the Raiders were going to be taking on the Trinity Raiders from Whitesville, Kentucky. Later on this year, they're going to be coming down to Riverdale. That's also a great opportunity for those kids in Kentucky. Even during the springtime in March, it's a very cold time up north. I've often heard recent jokes from previous years that the north likes to skip spring. It's just winter all around, a lot of snow, even in March and maybe even April. So it's great for those kids in Kentucky and those colder areas to come down to Southwest Florida and play some baseball in a very warm atmosphere. At first pitch, it was around 70 degrees. Dunnick is going to spin around, look at second, and there's going to be some communication going on here, as Dunnick will share a word with Daniel Kaler guarding second. You remember last season, Riverdale was at home to play the Heritage Mountaineers, a school which traveled from Maryville, Tennessee to play Riverdale. The Mountaineers defeated Riverdale by a 6-5 final score, and 8 innings. Certainly was a rough game for the Raiders. This bounces to the dirt, now 2-1. To number 22, Tyler Shuck. Also, what's interesting is Riverdale head coach Bob Pringle went to school at Heritage. He went on to study at Maryville College, and it's been a very long journey for him and Raider baseball as well. Once again, 22 seasons of coaching for Riverdale High School. Bob Pringle, he's done a great job with this program, as there's another check over on second. Sam Keating standing on second. Stole the second base bag just a few moments ago. So you can bet Dunnick is going to be keeping a very close eye on him. 8:44 now at Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida. 2-1 wind up. Chopper over to third. Tinsley going to Palmquist at first. And there's your first out that we have waited so long for. Keating will stretch over to third anyhow.
Next batter for the Cougars, designated hitter number 21, Johnny Lorenzo.
Lorenzo is going to bat next here for Canterbury. Top of the fifth. We seem to be stuck here. 1 out. Keating over on third. Once again, that can be the tying runner for the Raiders. Or pardon me, that's Canterbury. And now there's going to be a break as Lorenzo is going to step out. Well, it seemed like things were going smoothly throughout the first inning, second inning, third inning. Everything seemed to be going great. Once we reached the fourth inning, anyhow, that is where things started to get very slow in this ball game. 1 on, 1 out. Another pitch misses for Lorenzo Giovanni. Keating hoping for the best here. It's that he can advance. This is a pop-up. Shallow right field, maybe. It's going to be dropping down. No one can even scoop it up. A lot of brain games being played. And Keating is going to stay over at third. Lorenzo Giovanni will get over on first base due to that Raider miscommunication on the defense.
Next batter for Canterbury, number 25, Michael Motter.
And now it looks like Frank Turco, the coach for Canterbury, is now going to come out and discuss something with the home plate umpire. It looks like he has a lineup in his hand. He's going to be putting in a sub here on the field. So they're going to talk that out with the home plate umpire. And we're going to have, once again, yet another break in this action.
A reminder, Raider baseball fans, your team will be in action next week at the Cape Coral Early Bird Classic at Terry Park.
Yep, early bird tournament coming up next week for the Raiders.
Pinch runner now in at first base, number 2, Dalvin Duvall.
Dalvin Duvall is going to be the pinch runner for the Raiders over on first base. High up in the air, out towards right center field. Right fielder calls off. No, it's a center fielder now. Catch is made. Coming home is Keating, and we are tied up at 4. And just like that, Canterbury finds a way to get their way back into the ball game as we are deadlocked 4-4. Still no precipitation in the area. Wow. Another talk with the infield for the Raiders. It is a stoppage after stoppage. And now there's a little bit of a debate going on with Cooper Swanson talking to Frank Turco. Swanson heads over to the batter's box.
Next batter for the Cougars, number 24, Cooper Swanson.
Swanson with a man on first. 2 outs for the Cougars. The worst part is that we're not even halfway through this 5th inning, and we've been here in this point of the game for quite some time now, so Raiders just looking for some sign of relief, hoping a grounder or a pop-up will come through. Dunnick struggling on the mound. Runner heading over the second. Throw from Prell is not in time. So now the go-ahead run for Canterbury is on second base. So man on second and 2 outs. The good news for the Raiders is that with 2 outs now, top of the 5th can be ended at any time, but the stoppages are just killing them, and once again, time is going to be called here by Cooper Swanson. And look at that, looks like we may have some sprinkling going on. I can barely see it in one of the nearby stadium lights, as this is sideways for the ball. If that is rain, it's very light. You can barely notice it, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens from here. It looks like the storm has reached the area. It's supposed to be a part of a cold front coming here to Southwest Florida. Rocked out to left center. That's going back to the wall. Caught right on the track. And we're still tied at 4 apiece. We head to the bottom of the 5th right after this. Raiders give up 3 runs, and we are tied 4-4 between the Raiders and Canterbury.